Morning, Priyesh. Welcome back to Sea Talk. I'm so happy that you're one of many that are supporting the campaign that we've all now created together. And we're trying to get government to realise what is generation ban and what does it mean to us as independent retailers. And the bit I wanted to talk to you about more so, Priyesh, and your background before you came into retail, it's about crime. So the impact that this will have within our stores on the crime aspect of it.
Morning, Paul. So, yeah, a little bit about myself. I'm from a policing background originally. I did 10 years in force, and understanding crime is something that goes back into the roots of grassroots community work. In terms of the generational ban, the government have put something together. They've thrashed it very loosely and banded it before Parliament and House of Commons. It doesn't seem like something that is gonna be effective the way that it's currently been put before us as retailers. The challenges
Mm-hmm.
we have are, I mean, I think I've mentioned previously that on average, most retailers will have a group of employees, whether it be a couple, one, two, three, four, five, 50,000 stores, two retail employees each. And we're talking about some serious levels of mental health well-being concerns, the amount of
Yep.
crime that these individual members of employees are going to be subjected to. We've got some really big challenges ahead of us. And the problem we also have there, furthermore, is there's no enforcement. Enforcement
Mm-hmm.
is not viable. We don't have the funding at government level to put these things into place. So the police are going to be asked to police more crimes which could have been prevented. We're talking racial abuse, we're talking criminal damage, we're talking in-store crime, which will then stack up in crime recording for retail crime figures.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all because there's a generational ban. The generational ban, putting it into place in store, would mean that retailers like myself and you there would be challenging customers far more regularly to ask for ID.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that anybody born after 2009, if this goes ahead, is no longer going to be able to purchase tobacco products moving forward. Are we not looking into taking away freedoms and liberties at this point?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean for us as a wider nation? If
Mm-hmm.
we're going to take away liberties for consumers to smoke, is this now going to get rabbit holed and railroaded down other age-related products or restricted products rather? Are we going to
Mm-hmm.
look at? Are we going to see this happen with tobacco? With alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got challenges such as trading standards. Who's going to enforce this generational ban? How are they going to make it effective? The bigger problem I think that we have here is it all ties back to is illicit trade. If we can tackle illicit trade, the generational ban will also begin to fall into place because we won't need to be governing things which don't really need governing as hard as they should.
Mm-hmm.
All we're going to
Yeah.
do is we're going to implement a generational ban which makes it easier for people who want to smoke at a younger age to turn to the black market. They're not going to get challenged. It's going to be an easy transaction for the black market, and that's going to fund organized crime at a much greater level.
Yeah, and we see that day in day out with the emergence of these new pop-up stores everywhere that are selling illicit tobacco, illicit vapes, and they're the ones that are probably enticing what the government are trying to stop getting into the hands of youngsters, right? It's not
Correct.
the 50 odd thousand convenience stores up and down the country. It's not the grocers. It's the gig
Nope.
economy, because you can't police the gig economy because you can get whatever you want off social media and through them channels. And then the second bit is these pop-up stores. And then there's a lot of news after the 1st of June that there's still a lot of these the vapes that should have got banned. They're still out there in these stores. So to your point about how can government enforce, how can trading standards enforce, it comes back down to us as retailers, right? And then, but then, how much more can the police do when they're under resourced? So it's basically the doors are still open for fraudsters, right?
100%. And it's in government's hands. If we're saying, just touching upon your point regarding vapes and the market still flourishing as it is in terms of black market, how on earth are we expected to have compliant vapes sold through our outlets when the floodgates are open at the borders for these products to be still imported? Surely anyone with any common sense out there at government level will be talking about stopping the product coming into the country. Therefore, we only have compliant products in the country.
Yeah. And I think
And then we tackle this.
I think the big message out there to government is apply common sense to what they're trying to do. And I don't
100%.
think
So we talked about the legislation.
Yeah.
That's it. We spoke about the legislation itself. And I keep banning it. It is half-baked. It is a strategically targeted attack against retailers. Why to retailers? We have got fixed abodes. We've got constant money coming in. They know that when we make a mistake, and it will be a mistake, it won't be intentional, there's a £5,000 slap on our hands.
Yeah.
It's easy money for them. Trading standards have been given what? I think it was a huge figure that was announced earlier. That equates down, once it's shrunk down to each and every enforcement area, to £15,000 per area. What's that going to do? Buy them tea and coffee for the year?
Yeah, if that.
That's ultimately what we're talking about. Yeah. It's not going to do anything.
No. So I think that they've, common sense is where they've got to get to. And maybe, start engaging with retailers in local areas and understand what's going on.
Understand what our problems are. Yes.
Yeah.
Understand what the concerns we face are. Every area is going to have it slightly differently. Some of them will be challenging areas where people want cigarettes and are looking for a quick buck on that front. We had a JTI rep come in last week, and he wanted to understand something around the illicit market. And I said, he explained to me, why is it that you sell more of X tobacco over Y tobacco? And I said, the reason for that is, when a consumer is smoking the illicit product or the non-UK duty paid product, they're smoking product Y. Amber leaf was in question. And then what he wanted to understand is when they come to touch the product at a duty paid level, why are you selling X over Y? And I said, that's the reason. And he was surprised that actually this is what's happening at a grassroots level, and they didn't have an understanding of why product A over product B or product Y over X. And that was all being fed from illicit. But because they haven't got an insight into illicit, they can't comprehend what's going on. And if a tobacco company who's producing this product, marketing it, selling it, can't understand it, government are merely making policies based on half-hashed ideas.
Yeah, well, that's basically the point, right? So, all the ONS figures and that they've got, they're all none of them are real, because they don't understand how much revenue is being lost to the black market. And I would guess to estimate, I'd say 1 in 5, every 5 now is sold in the black market. We all know 100%. How much it's impacted sales, and for them, they're saying that tobacco and any tobacco-related products are now on the decline. I'd beg to differ. Them smokers now have just found the alternative to go.
They found an easier access point for that product. Yep.
Yeah.
And we talk about enforcement, Paul. I think the challenge you've got is enforcement happens, but when there's that much money available, it's that lucrative. You enforce, you penalize, you make them pay a fine. They will be back open day 2 having paid that fine, because it's just so lucrative for them to carry on doing it.
Yeah. So give me one final message to Jonathan Reynolds. What do you want Jonathan Reynolds to understand and realize?
We want to have an open dialogue with you guys to understand from our perspective, when we're looking at these pieces of legislation, give us effective guidance, give us effective solutions. Don't make us be the enforcers, the police. Don't let us be everything that you have organizations out there already doing. Support us, listen to us, understand our concerns.
Thank you very much, Priyesh. And that's Priyesh from One Stop. Thank you for your support. And let's see if we can get government to understand the pressures that we're under. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul.